Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to another video on the new channel. Okay, so we are back to another video today. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we are going to be ranking all 5 of the Ghostbusters films because Ghostbusters films are just my favourite films of all time. Okay, there's been 5 films, including the new one, which I've now seen. So yeah, and so I thought I would do a video ranking all 5 of the Ghostbusters films so far. Okay, so I think it's going to be no surprise. Number 5, number 5, my least favourite Ghostbusters film. I'm pretty sure it's everyone else's least favourite Ghostbusters film. Is the third one, Ghostbusters Answer the Call. Terrible film, terrible film. I think I've said it on this channel before. I'm going to say it again. It is a terrible, terrible film, and and just don't watch it. It is about on par with me with Blues Brothers 2000. So yeah, it's a really really bad film. It just yeah. Okay, so and I'm not going to go too much into it. Okay, so we'll just move on to number 4. Now this is going to shock a lot of people. Now I'm going to say I did like the film. I liked it way better than Ghostbusters Answer the Call. However, it was still a little bit. There was still a little bit of things that were a bit about it, and that is the new one, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Now, as I say, I'm not going to say it's a bad film because it's not really. It's not really a bad film. But it kind of like the first few minutes, the kind of first hour or so, is a little bit kind of boring. Yeah, it's like they introduce all these characters, but they don't really have like a purpose, if you know what I mean. And then it only really starts to get better, like just in about the last 50 to 45 minutes is kind of when it starts getting better. So yeah. But as I say, I wouldn't say it's a bad film. I wouldn't say it's a bad film. I wouldn't. Just not a great one. Just not a great one. It's still way better, way better than Ghostbusters Answer the Call. But yeah, yeah. But as I say, the first hour or so, it's pretty boring. I must say, pretty boring. As I say, they introduce all these characters, and I have to say, not one of them have a purpose. Not one of them have a purpose. So yep. So yeah. Okay, moving on to Ghostbusters. Okay, so let's go on to number 3. Okay, so at number 3, we're gonna go for Ghostbusters 2. Now again, I wouldn't say it's a bad film. It's not a bad film at all. It's actually quite good. Some people prefer it to the first one. I am not one of those people. But again, it's a good film, good solid film. It did the job. So yeah. I don't really have much to say about it. I don't really have much to say about it. I don't have much thoughts on it. As I say, I wouldn't say it's a bad film though. It's not a bad film. And if people were to say to me, Aiden, what about Ghostbusters 2? Would you recommend Ghostbusters 2? I would say yeah, I would recommend Ghostbusters 2. As I say, brilliant film. Yeah, and it does your job, and it does a job. So yep. Okay, so now we're on to number 2, and I have to say. I'm going to say the first Ghostbusters film. The first Ghostbusters film. First Ghostbusters film was absolutely brilliant, phenomenal. It was and to the point where it's one of the most. It's considered one of the best films of the 80s, and that is a huge target, considering the fact in the 80s you had films such as Back to the Future, The Goonies. You had films like that. And some people say Ghostbusters, the first Ghostbusters film, is right up there as one of the best. Do you know what I mean? Like that's how good this film is. So yeah. But then moving on to my number 1, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Oh my God, what a film! What a film it honestly is. I love everything about Ghostbusters Afterlife. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant film. I love podcast. I love what he did with him. He's so funny. He makes that film. Podcast makes Ghostbusters Afterlife. It's so funny. So yep. and also I like the kind of aspect they were going with it as well. So yeah, so Ghostbusters Afterlife goes in at number one. So anyway, that's my top five Ghostbusters films. If you guys like this video, then you should like, subscribe, and hit the subscribe button as well. Thank you.